So here's where we have to get a little negative. But I started off positive, and that's what matters, right? Not really. Kevin Durant floated out in trade rumors. Now, let me just say this. No shot do I think Kevin Durant gets dealt. Zero. Absolutely zero. And I had my buddy last night who I guess I shouldn't say buddy. That sounds a little demeaning, but friend of the show, been on the show before, Jason McIntyre from The Herd. He texted me last night, and he saw the Jake Fisher report that Kevin Durant could go to the Warriors, or is floated out there as a Warrior guy. And the potential of bringing Jimmy Butler here, because Kevin Durant can go somewhere else, and maybe you don't trade Beal, you trade Kevin Durant to get Butler, and a 3-team deal, how all that works. And it's just like nonsense. But what I saw from a lot of NBA fans, or I guess I should say what I saw from a lot of Suns fans was shocked, surprised that the Suns would take phone calls on Kevin Durant. This team just lost back-to-back games to the Trailblazers. They're in the softest part of their schedule right now. And you're surprised that they're taking phone calls on anyone? They could take phone calls on the arena. They could take phone calls on selling the team. They've been a massive failure this year. And you're surprised that they picked up the phone and someone potentially gave them a lifeline and said, hey, what would it be to get rid of Kevin Durant? What would it be to pry him away from you? How much would I have to give up? As my guy Brendan Clean said last night on Locked On Phoenix Suns, a trade to get done with the Warriors for Kevin Durant would be nearly impossible. It's really tough to do. The salaries don't match up well. They don't really have a lot of pieces that you would really want. And at that point, it would kind of feel like just giving Kevin Durant away without getting some of their prize pieces like Brendan Pajemski or Jonathan Kuminga or Gary Payton II. But even then, that doesn't really scratch the itch. But that's not really what I'm focusing on. Am I surprised that the Phoenix Suns are taking calls on Kevin Durant? I think taking calls and listening to offers is a little overblown. The analogy I used last night was this. If I owned a home, and I don't, and I bought it for $500,000, really nice house, great location, me and my wife, we love it, kids potentially in the future, great location, right next to a good school. I'm not looking to move, but I'm willing to listen to your offer. If you want to offer me $1 million and just completely blow my socks off for the offer for my house, guess what? I'm moving. If I can make a $500,000 profit, yeah. So I'll listen to your offer. Am I going to be rational in what I want for it? No. I think it's what the Suns are doing. Due diligence. If someone is willing to offer you the sun, the moon, the stars, and everything in between, you take that deal. For a team that just lost back-to-back games to the Portland Trailblazers, you think not everything is on the table? Not surprised for 1 second. In fact, I would go as so far to say that the Phoenix Suns, if they're not taking phone calls on Kevin Durant, that would be malpractice. I'm not saying to trade Kevin Durant, but to not see what's out there, to not potentially hear someone blowing your socks off with an offer. The sun, the moon, and the stars. If you don't take that phone call, you are doing malpractice to your franchise running it. That is malpractice running your franchise if you're not listening to offers. Because the Suns have been an utter failure this year. Back-to-back losses to the Trailblazers. Lost at home to the Timberwolves last week. A couple weeks ago, lost to the Grizzlies C team. Everyone was injured in that game. They have failed to show any heart. At some point, I think it's just a cultural issue with this team. So, Kevin Durant, yeah, you're on the table. And I'm not going to act like you're above that. Kevin Durant should absolutely be on the trade block. But I'm not just trading him away just to trade him away. You got to blow me away with an offer. Devin Booker is a different story. I don't think I'm ready to move off of Devin Booker yet. 28, star player, try to build around him. Kevin Durant is different. He's a career wanderer. He was a Net. He was a Thunder. He was a Warrior. And now he's a Sun. It wouldn't be crazy to me to see him go to another team. And I still think you could get a massive haul for him. Really replenish the draft picks and players that you lost in a Kevin Durant trade before. So, it's not the wrong thing to do if you're the Suns, to take offers, to just take the phone call on Kevin Durant. After last night, maybe you should trade Kevin Durant. I don't think this team is that close to a championship. I don't think they're that close to a playoff spot. I don't think they're that close to being out of the play-in. Everything should be on the table for this team. Everything. Outside of trading Devin Booker, everything has to be on the table. Budenholzer, Kevin Durant, Bradley Beal's future, everyone. Tyus Jones, who we thought was going to be a revolution if you weren't me. That's just what it is. That's where we're at. I didn't think we'd be here at the trade deadline, but when I saw the report that the Suns were listening to offers, to me it feels like there's no chance he gets traded, and they shouldn't trade him. They should see this thing through unless they get an offer that they just cannot refuse. And if that's the case, it would be malpractice not to take that offer. What does that look like? I don't know. I'm not James Jones. But I'd take the phone call, and I think that's pretty clear that everyone else would too. Because that's just a smart thing to do. Be ready to hit the eject button whenever you can.